Alrighty, hello everybody and welcome back to the Chupacabra's lair. Today, we're taking a look at another fantastic Kickstarter called Colony Capture, and I am joined this evening by Mr. Servik, the Dread Pirate.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Servik. Have you ever played Internet Reversey, a game that used to be free with Windows?
No.
Well, you're about to get a good idea of what that's like. So this is Colony Capture. And in essence, what's going on here is this is my, this is the little gold squares are or hexagons are the ones that I own, and these are the ones that the enemy owns. And by putting this guy over here, I can capture this one.
Okay.
And that's the
Capturing is good.
That's the basic mechanic of the entire game. And then once we jump through here, we have access to other units that do a little bit more dynamic stuff. And this is where it gains its own sort of momentum. Let's see, what's a good one?
Oh, Warrior Bee looks badass.
Yes, the Warrior Bee allows you to get the tiles between you and it, and it also lets you claim other tiles that are off to the side. So we drag it. So you see what I can do right here?
Yeah.
I have all these points, and I can do like this. So Warrior Bees are immensely useful. Now, something you should note about these extra units and bees is that they work off of points up here. And these are, every time you capture a square, or a bunch of squares, you get some points. And you might notice each one of these bees has a number on it that basically says how much you need to use it. Warrior bees require 3 to use to capture it and what's between it, and then it also needs 9 points, you see here, in order to capture all of these squares.
I see.
So just because you can use it doesn't mean you can't capture the whole playing field if all you've got is 3 points. Bomber bees. This is how you open up some spaces for you to use. They allow you to do 3, the one in the center, and 2 to either side. You can click and drag which ones you want it to kill. Burp. That's pretty straightforward. No one gets those tiles, they just stop being useful. This is the giant nuke bee. It's expensive, and it does a 360-degree nuke. So kind of useful when you're trying to capture some more squares back. I find it useful. Queen bees. Much like regular bees, you need to put them on the opposite end of one of these that you already own. And then you can capture everything around it, plus what it was standing on. So it's like, it's kind of like the kamikaze bee, except it captures everything. Lovey-dovely. This is one that doesn't have an immediate use right now in the demo. For anyone who's playing the demo, we'll link it in the description once we're done. These bees allow you to capture through water. But in the demo itself, the demo level, there is no water. I don't think it can create water tiles. It pretty much just captures them.
Oh, that's kind of nifty.
Yeah. So you got some, like, terrain mechanics that'll show up in this game later that kind of give it a little bit more feel than just the generic reversing type game that I talked about earlier. These ones are kind of like the anti-bee. They lock off terrain from being captured unless you destroy it. And in order to destroy it, you have to use a killer bee or a bomber bee. And the killer bee is the nuke bee.
You know, there's a lot more strategy behind this than I thought there would be.
My basic explanation as to what this game was didn't really touch base on it at all. So let's play the demo. So this starts out like that Internet Reversey game. Each person's got 2 tiles. And I'm gonna start out by doing this. And he's gonna be a dick and do that and counter me. But now we start the pissing contest. And see, doing this, I can capture 2 at once. It's that 360-degree thing.
Okay.
At some point, your eyes will start to glaze over. So, as you see, I'm starting to get points that I can use to unlock these other bees. But I don't want to use it just yet. It's not a whole lot of point until I've got more points.
When is the game over?
You know, I wasn't really super, like, certain on that, because you can open up the board, but I'd imagine if the other person doesn't have any more points to use, like, a bomber bee to open up more spaces, since the basic bee is worth 0 points, like, if all you can put down is the basic bee, and you can't use it, then you lose, I would imagine. Let's see. I want... kind of screwed either way. Let's use the warrior bee. I want to capture those. So there's a bit more dynamic to it, but you can also use the basic bee to be an asshole like that pretty easily.
Yeah, for 0 points too. You got a lot out of that.
Yeah, it's all about like simple strategy over ridiculous dynamic. Which one do I want? This one. It's all about getting the most bang for your buck, in essence. I have 8 points again. I'm gonna use this sucker again. Let's see. Do I not have enough points to do it? Oh, yep, I do have enough points to do something fun. Let's see. Let's just go back to Mr. Basic. Oops.
Yeah, what if you put them on the very far left in the middle? Right there.
Right here?
Up one?
You can't put them here. There's nothing over here for it to line up with. You gotta crunch them between yourself, basically.
I see.
So I can go this way, but if I go this way, there's nothing over here to crunch between. But, let's see, I'm trying to find a way that I can get like 2, but I'm pretty much just stuck like this.
Now can you put it in that spot?
Right here?
On the left in the middle, since you have the little 2?
So this is here, but I have to capture the reds between this one and a gold.
Oh, I see.
Right. So I'm gonna put this sucker here and get 2. He's gonna use the queen. I don't have enough points to use a queen too, unfortunately, but I can do this. And this is essentially the back and forth that you're going to get for the remainder of the game. And now we're starting to get really, really heavy on everything. So I'm going to use my queen. Now the AI will start to jump in and start bombing things. Bomba-diddly-dumpy-doo. See, I actually don't want you there. So the sort of background behind this game, beyond just the game itself, I need to open up some spaces, so I'll use my bomber. So beyond just the game itself, which is pretty tactful and addicting all on its own, they want to take this as an opportunity to kind of share the step-by-step with everybody of making the game, so that if you're looking to make your own game, or you're looking to kind of like see a glimpse into the gaming industry, you too can kind of like work out in your head how this whole situation works and functions, so that you can kind of get a foothold in there, so to speak. And this means sharing with you how they design the art for each phase, the thought process that goes into how the AI works, how the different characteristics of each bee work, the point systems, each little tidbit like that. So they want to show things like this on their Facebook or their Kickstarter page. They've got some animations, some artwork that isn't necessarily directly related to the game. And they want to share with how they go about developing each concept, the personalities of each creature. Here's a step-by-step of how they do each of the animations. This is how they did the killer bee design. Each frame is a step in the design process for them. The different terrain and rocks. They talk about their team, and so the next step, if they and when and all of this, they get their money, and they're going pretty well so far, I believe, is they're going to put in a story mode. They're looking to add more levels if they get enough money, more languages, maybe some more bee-type stuff. Not certain if this is going to be multiplayer or not, but they did say that they'd love to get in contact with us to do an interview. So
that would be awesome.
Yeah, so what have your thoughts been so far, Savvy?
It looks fun. Like I said earlier, it looks like it has a lot more strategy than I, pictured in my head, which is really cool once you start getting into the multiplayer stuff. Because, as we know, once a mass of people get a hold of things, they figure out ways to break it.
Right.
And, find the best strategies and everything like that. So, from that aspect, I think it looks really, really intriguing. I'd like to see it get backed. Put it on my phone.
It's definitely one of those games I wouldn't mind having on my phone. You could easily port it too, I believe. I mean, I don't want to say yay or nay because I'm not a software developer in anyone's imagination.
It's kind of also appealing for a casual gameplay standpoint, right, as well. You don't have to be some mastermind to pick it up and play it and have fun and win.
Totally. So, what questions do you have, of what you want to see next, or things that you want them to talk about? I mean, I think it's really simple. There's not a lot to say about it. The potential is here in the demo, which isn't something I get to say a lot about a lot of Kickstarter games that we've farted around with over the last few months. I mean, if they even have a demo at all, and I love demos. Demo, if I can play that and I like the starting concept, I will give you my money.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I would like to see if they have any other ideas for different bees.
And this is what I was talking about before. This is the water bee, and you can't really use it. Maybe they could get a scuba bee that creates a water patch.
Right.
This dinky bee can obstruct stuff. So if I don't want him to capture this corner, I can just dump this here. And then I could put another one here if he doesn't take that immediately. But anyway, we really like the concept of this game. We think it's going places, so check it out in the comments. We'll also link the download for the demo directly. And do check it out. It's great. We love the hell out of this concept. I mean...
yeah, very cool.
There's not a whole lot to see just yet in the demo. It's pretty bare bones yet, but the fact that I really like internet reversey and really simple sort of board game-like stuff like that, and this is essentially a highly refined next generation of that concept that's 360 degrees instead of up and down, left and right. I think this could easily become an arcade game on Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, Android. iPhone.
iOS, yeah, absolutely. Could really reach out to a lot of people if they get some multiplayer on it. Play with your friends and have fun. It'd be really cool.
I mean, they've already got some really great 8-bit art in here. You can tell immediately, like, each one of these little bees has its own little personality. Like, this one looks like a serial killer, and the bomber just looks like he's ready to explode any moment from too much caffeine. The warrior's just like, ugh, really, you guys? Really? This stuff again?
Yeah, it's one thing I do like over, say something like Angry Birds. All the birds do different stuff, but aside from that, they're different colors, really.
Really, the
This
tactics
one,
in
they-
Angry Birds don't change a whole hell of a lot once you get all the birds either.
Yeah, and this one, it's like you said, they do have their own, almost personalities. Kind of,
Yeah, and that's...
it's cool.
I love
It's a nice
character
touch.
design. Makes me moist. Oh, man.
Moist with honey.
Well, guys, thanks for joining us. We'll talk to those guys about doing an awesome interview, either with me and Savvy or just me, depending on our schedules. Try to get them some more interest before they're over with their Kickstarter. They've got 19-ish days the evening we're done recording this. Do check them out. They only need 15K to get this ball rolling. They've almost got one. I think they can make it if we can get them some extra press and they can,
Yeah,
get some...
absolutely. That's an easy goal to hit.
Right. And make sure to like, subscribe, and share the shit out of this video. Helps us a whole bunch. We love to hear your feedback. If you think like a particular series has a little bit more potential or should require a little bit more time than we're giving it, let us know, because we're just kind of doing stuff in the woods. Literally. I live in the woods.
I don't.
Bastard.
I have good internet.
Such a bastard. Ta-ta, everybody.
Bye.